Hi, I'm Christina Applegate.
And I'm Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
And this is
Messy.
Support for Messy comes from Psionic.
So the Psionic neural sleeve is the first FDA-cleared bionic clothing. How cool is that? Bionic clothing. Feels like we're living in the future.
I don't know why I want to make that sound.
There it is. There it is.
That's it. That's me walking.
And it's designed to help people living with MS and other neurological conditions improve walking and strength. I would say the number one thing we all have in common when we have MS is we want to improve our walking and strength. So welcome, Psionic. You know, for people living with MS, we talk about this a lot. We have a lot of guest write-ins. You know, staying mobile and active is an essential part of managing our symptoms. And the neural sleeve, it is the thinnest, lightest, feels like a garment, you know, instead of an assistive device, because I've used other assistive devices and they can be kind of clunky and weird looking. It's sleek enough, first of all, to fit under your clothing. So basically, the science behind it is the system analyzes every step you take, and then it sends electrical pulses directly to the 4 major muscle groups of the leg to improve walking in real time. It's an award-winning device named one of Time's best inventions. What you do is you get the app, you will meet face-to-face with a dedicated psionic mobility specialist, and you will do training, you will do check-ins, you will personalize your settings to see what muscles aren't firing, where you're needing more pulses, where you're needing less, and then you can track your progress as you go. And the best part is, listen, you pay as you go. So if the neural sleeve isn't working for you, you can cancel anytime for any reason. So Christina, tell them how to get it.
Okay, so this is what the deal is, guys. We are excited to share that Messy listeners can get $50 off by entering the code MESSY during checkout. That's MESSY. To learn more, visit psionic.com/messy. That's CIONIC.com/messy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Messy. I am Jamie. I am here with my partner in crime,
Christina Applegate.
There she is. And we have such a wonderful, beautiful, we can't even believe she's here with us, guest. She's a Tony, Emmy, Oscar winner, one of the most celebrated, respected, and loved actresses around. I'm not going to bother introducing her anymore because we just want to get talking. Please welcome to Messy, Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Christina. I'm so happy to be here. I've heard so much about your podcast for months and months and months from Kim Green, who was your makeup artist on Dead to Me.
And Romy.
And Romy. And they said, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. It's so great. It's so great. So they're why I'm here.
Well, we are grateful to them.
Yeah, I couldn't, when they said you were like interested, I was like, wait, what? You mean like the Kathy Bates or like a lady on crew? But no, we're very, very excited to have you here. And like, just, you know, before we start fangirling, because the two of us are kind of, we're going to do that. Congratulations on second season being picked up for Matlock.
Yeah,
I mean, what the fuck? Like, that is so cool. Like,
very. And so soon, right after the second episode. So we're very excited about that.
That's amazing. You know that, right? Like that means there's some damn quality going on there. And
yeah. They told us that in the first month, about 20.1 million people saw the pilot in the first month. So it's just been insane. We're just in uncharted territory. So fingers crossed, you know, we keep going and people keep loving the show because we've got some great episodes coming up. So
I like want to cry. Like, I'm so excited.
And you're enjoying it, it sounds like, which is even more important.
We're having the best time, I have to say. From George Cheeks, who is the entertainment guy at Paramount, you know, the guy, and then Amy Reisenbach, who's president of the network, and David Stapp, who is the president of the studio. They are such wonderful, normal human beings with great heart, tremendous passion for our show. And it's easy to get, you just fall in love with them. And they're not executive types. I'm sure they do that because that's their jobs. But with us, they've just been so loving and supportive, and that's been great. And of course, Jenny Erman, there is just no one like her. I swear, she's transparent. She's excited. Every time when Jenny comes on the set, we're just all jazzed. And she's a brilliant writer. And she's put the show together like a Rubik's Cube. It's a mystery. Maddie's on a mission. But there's also the regular cases that people enjoy every week. And the cast and crew are lovely. Everybody's just really excited about the show. And that's kind of a new experience for me late in life. And just to, like, I don't know, be like Kathy Bates. Like, my later in life was my show Dead to Me, where you get something, when you're should have been done. And it was not you, but like, whatever. And I have MS and blah, blah, blah. But when all those like things happen, it's like, oh, what was I doing before this? Like, what? So I love that you're having this moment in life, because it's going to it recharges like everything, your cells. It does. It's very
rejuvenating. I'm really nerding out right now.
It's very rejuvenating. And also because we've got, it's a huge demographic. You know, we have older people, and we also have younger people, because we've got a great young cast. And so it's very exciting to have all of the people. I ran into somebody the other day that he said he watched the program with his mother. They were so excited. So that's great. That's made us really happy.
And I watched Matlock as a kid. So
I was going to say, the people that are, have a it's reminiscent and nostalgic for them, but now with like a new energy. And there's just always a certain alchemy, I think, when it comes to just a success like that. Like you're saying, the show is resonating with people, but most importantly, I think it resonates with people when it feels the way it feels for you on a set. I think that translates, because you're able to create and perform in a different way than had it been a different type of experience.
Totally right. I mean, there's so much love on the set when we come on in the morning. And yes, the hours actually aren't too bad. I've worked on other shows where we've done 18 hours, which have been really difficult. Yeah. And this one, yes, we'll do like 12 or 14 hours a day, but there's a lot of love on the show. And I think the love stems from the top. And, just it's a really amazing feeling. And I think that shows on the screen and reaches out to everybody.
I wish it could always be like that, because I mean, I don't know. I've been lucky to be around great people, but I've had a couple of clunkers where you're like, this feels like putting that boulder up, and you're like, isn't it so nice when you enjoy everything about it, like from every single person on the set. So that makes me very happy that this is happening, and that you're also with Kim and Romy, because I love those two ladies, and we've been together for a long time.
Yes, that was what they said. They love you. They just love you.
There's something that we do, and we're going to get back to so many things, to cover so many things. But one thing we like to do on here is ask the question, who was little Kathy? So I like to think about like 8-year-old Kathy. Like, if you look down at your shoelaces, what did they look like? If you thought about, was there music that you liked? Was there a movie that you liked, or a play that you liked, or what was home like, or what did it smell like? Was it filled with the smell of beautiful roast beasts, or was it smelled with cigarettes, or like whatever? We love this feeling of like, who were you in Tennessee?
Well, my favorite age actually was 7. And if I look down, there would be, depending on the day, an outfit my mother would have made, like a special dress for Easter. So I would look down and I would see probably white Mary Janes. Mm-hmm. And because this was in the 50s, of course. And I would be 50s into late 40s into 50s. I would have been 7 in about 54, probably. And so I can remember a pink dress that my mother made, and a little jacket to go with it. And the smells would be gardenias. In those days, they had dress boxes, long dress boxes. And we had a huge gardenia bush. And when it started filling with flowers, my mother would take some and put in dress boxes, and she would give them to her friends. And so I remember the smell of that. I remember also the smell of barbecue. My dad was a really wonderful cook, and he built a barbecue a grill out in the back. And so every now and then we'd have barbecue. I remember going, if they had a party, they would go to a place that had ice, big chunks of ice, like big cubes of ice, really big, the size of a box, like a 14 by 14 or whatever. And we'd sit in the back. I'd sit in the back, and he would challenge me to see how long I could keep my bare foot on top of the ice going back. And let's see, what do I remember? I remember being very dramatic, very precocious. They had a party, and I was not invited. And I said, but what if they ask, where is that darling child? So, I was very, and I have a picture that was actually much younger of me, probably 3 or 4, on Halloween, and they put a pillowcase on me and cut the eyes out for a ghost. And my sisters, I remember my sisters, then they're quite a bit older than I am. They're 9 and 12 years older. So I remember at 6 being in my older sister's wedding as a flower girl.
Wow.
And so I think those were the best moments. I loved being 7. That was my favorite time of life. I felt very embraced by my family. And I remember my Dale Evans costume I wore, and I have one of my sitting on my Uncle Walter's lap with my Dale Evans outfit on. So that was me at 7.
That was the best answer to Who Was Little You that we've ever had.
Ever. Of all the amazing people we've talked to, that was like, I'm there right now. I can smell the barbecue. I can feel the ice on my feet. And also knowing, where's that darling girl?
Yes. So obviously you had a flair for the drama, and you have a vivid imagination, which is clear. But when did you start to fall into, I know that you started with creative writing. Is that what sort of was your foray into theater and performing?
I loved to write. We had an attic that was, there was plenty of room to walk around and stand up, and there was a window at the end of it. And I had a little desk there, and I loved to sit at the desk and write. But that was when I got just a little bit older. I remember taking ballet classes when I was young. So I think I was always interested in the dramatic aspect of things. And when I got to high school, I remember my sister Mary, who was just 9 years older than I was, when she was in high school, she worked and she did plays with a wonderful teacher named Gene Crane. And he was just the best. He was the coolest guy in school. And he always wore loafers, which was like, a rarity. And when we got older, Madras shirts and stuff. And he would call us beasts. And we had his speech class, and he was a wonderful director. I think he must have gone to New York when he was younger to see if he could try his hand in the professional theater, and then came home to Memphis. But I started working with him in high school, and that's when I really started working on stage, playing older characters. And I fell in love with it then.
And theater was how you began. You moved to New York and started on the stage?
Yes. Theater was actually, I went to school at Southern Methodist University. And when I got there, they were developing a real conservatory. It had been just a couple of classes a week for an elective for everybody at the university. And Dr. Hobgood and Jack Clay turned it into a proper conservatory. So it was the perfect time to be there. And more than anything, to be taken seriously as an actor. I remember our first year, I don't believe our first year we were able to do any of the plays that they had for audiences. We were really just learning. We were first year students. And I remember Dr. Hobgood, we used to call him, said, it's going to take you 15 years to do this. He said, it's like being a doctor or a lawyer. You're going to have to learn your craft. You intern, you develop your skills. You work in theaters as apprentices, and then you develop your clientele like these doctors and lawyers would do, and you get a good reputation, and then your career develops. And I have to say, it was about 15 years that I really had command of my own craft.
Wow.
So it was an amazing experience. We studied Greek theater and Chekhov and Shakespeare and what they call period styles. We would learn all of the costumes and the plays from that particular period and study them. And it was just invaluable. It really started me off in a very serious way, that this was a worthy profession. And hearing that from an older person gave me the roots to develop my craft, because I had talent, but I didn't have the skill yet. I didn't have the technique. I didn't have the tools to do my work and to understand how to develop a character over the course of a play. And that was the goal.
Messy is sponsored by BetterHelp. This month, November, is all about gratitude, right? It's a month that is supposed to remind us, keep us in our gratitude. And I am very grateful for you, Christina. I'm grateful for this podcast. And I'm grateful that we live in a world where talking about your feelings and working through means nothing is wrong with you. It means you're being human, and going to therapy is celebrated.
I concur. And I also feel that we should never be afraid to talk about how we feel, regardless of how the world feels. So just feel safe when you listen to us, that you have us. But guess what? You also have BetterHelp, which is awesome.
So if you're thinking of starting therapy, you should give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient for you, flexible for you, and suited to your schedule. All you do is fill out a brief questionnaire, and then they match you with a licensed therapist. And by the way, if you're not vibing with this therapist, you can switch at any time for no additional charge. Being vulnerable, talking about your feelings is the most empowering thing you can do. I have never felt stronger in my life when I've found my vulnerability and my strength, which is I found my voice. And you can do that in therapy.
Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/messy today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/messy.
No one is better than developing a character than you, Kathy. I truly believe that, because if I can think of all of the movies and programs that you've been in, you embody a character like no other. You truly, I can think of so many of your characters that are like, have a piece of my heart. Fried Green. Oh, you have a puppy behind
puppy.
you.
I
That
love
is
your
so
puppy. Oh
cute.
God.
I mean, from Titanic, Fried Green Tomatoes, like, just thank you for your, and I'm hearing you speak about your respect for the craft and all of the years that you spent really respecting it and understanding it. It makes so much sense.
Oh, well, thank you. I've been very lucky. I had talent, like I say, but it really took me a long time. There were moments when I just didn't feel like I couldn't open my mouth. So it really was a struggle for me, to develop, and then really to start getting hired, because I was not what you call a beauty queen, and but we can get into that later. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I had kind of an odd career because I've played so many different characters and sort of cobbled together, and but I'm grateful for that, and I've learned a lot on the way.
I was going to say, first of all, you starting in writing, you talk like a writer. Like when you were just explaining things, you talked about this man's loafers and things like that's such a beautiful thing to talk like a writer. It might, for me, I sometimes speak like that and my friends get super annoyed, but because I have to like do all the details and make all the smells. But I was thinking that about you, which I think about you oddly a lot, because I think you're one of the greatest actresses that's ever lived. And, there's these kids out there and they're not training and they're not taking it seriously and they're looking at the brass ring. But when you go into that place, you have sustainability and you have been doing this for decades because you're that fucking good. Like it's crazy. I mean, there isn't a taste of one character to the next character, the next character. It's always different, but your soul always comes through. And as an actress looking at you, I appreciate that. And you give me, well, I can't act so much anymore, which we'll get into you and I have a lot in common, other things, but thank you for just being good at what you do. And that's why that's your forever job.
Yeah, I thank you. I really do. It is my forever job. Sometimes I think it's what I have. It's my life. I pour everything into it. I'm single now and I don't have kids, and this is my life. It's what I have. It's what I do. It's what makes me happy. I feel useful. I feel like every day, if I can do a good job, I've paid the piper for the talent that I've been given. And so thank you for all of your kind remarks. I really appreciate it.
Before we get into, our intention with this podcast, which is to talk about things that people have to, endure, persevere through. It's the human experience. Was there ever a moment in your career, or have there been moments in your career where you've ever questioned what you're doing or ever felt any frustration or fear around longevity in it? Because really, like Christina said, I mean, to work as long as you have, as consistently as you have, and as wonderfully as you have, that's not common.
Well, at the very beginning, I worked in Washington, D.C. at the Folger Theater. We did a Shakespeare play. And there were lots of moments, Jamie, where I felt, I'm not sure I want to do this. It's self-aggrandizing. And I sort of lost Hobbes' message for a while. And I felt...
I'm writing that word down, sorry, because I've never heard that one. And I'm a word nerd.
So yeah, I felt like there were many moments when I said, I don't know if I want to do this. And then I would get a job that would pull me back in. So I thought, okay, I'll keep doing it. And then much more recently, like 12 years ago, when I had breast cancer and my show was canceled, and I thought, wow, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm done. I mean, I think, Christina, you went through that too.
I was on a show as well.
Yeah. I heard that you went through an incredibly rough time.
Not as much as MS. I'm gonna just preface that, not poo-pooing on cancer, but just not as bad as this. But yeah, I was in the middle of production, and found out and had to go through double mastectomy and all of that while, still going back to work, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and trying to keep it quiet. And then also, I don't know if you felt like this, like I was outed before I was ready to be outed. Someone had seen me in the hospital and I wasn't ready to speak about it. And then when I did, I like faked it. Like I faked this like warrior breast cancer lady, and I started a foundation and I did all this shit that like was a lie, because that's not how I was feeling. I wasn't feeling strong and I wasn't feeling okay. And eventually, you know, I found a way to go, you know what, guys, this is how it actually feels. And I think that did more good than bad, than being like, you know, I'm going to be the, like, one of the quotes that you say is like, someone didn't want you to be a poster child for it. And I think that's how I felt. It was my way of kind of dealing with it, was to like go on Oprah and be like, oh yeah, my boobies are so high up and bloody, bloody, bloody. And then I'd go to the dressing room and fall into a wall crying my eyes out because I was not strong and I was upset and I was sad for my amputation. I was all those things. And eventually, you know, after starting my foundation, which actually did a lot of good, it gave MRIs to women who were of high risk, but for years and years and years, I just finally went, fuck this. I got to talk about, like, it's scary and it sucks. And if you feel like it's scary and it sucks, I've got your back. Like, I'm here too. And, and that took me a long time. So I love that quote you sorry, there's a lot on you.
Well, Kathy, you were diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2003 and you kept that a secret.
Yes. My agent at the time, like you say, she didn't want me to be the poster child for ovarian cancer. So I kept it a secret. But I have to say, I had to go back to work and I went back too early. And I was still having a lot of symptoms from the surgery. I was unsure about going back to work. It was a really great payday, so I needed the money. And I was still having gastro problems and irritable bowel problems. And so, I mean, the upside was I got to wear makeup and hair every day because I had lost my hair. And when I went through cancer, I was on chemo. And so my face was really white and I lost my eyebrows. So the great part about it was that I got to have makeup and hair and look great every day. Because the weekends I looked just the opposite and I didn't have the energy to do all of that from the chemo. And my friend Lynn Redgrave, who was battling 5-stage cancer, said, you have to do this. And I said, why? And she said, because your character doesn't have cancer. So you can spend those 10 or 12 hours being somebody else and you don't think about it. And, you know, because I felt also, you know what, here's what I felt. And I don't know if you went through this, but I had a couple of friends who were really great at the beginning and who helped me go to chemo and all of that. And one of them stayed and read books to me. But then I think they dropped away a little bit because they got worn out and they thought it was going to be over quickly. Did you have that experience?
There's something that Jamie and I, you know, I don't know if you've ever even listened to our podcast, but, you know, if you're bored, whatever, we talk a lot about the question, how are you? And that most people don't really actually want to know the answer to that.
Or don't have the energy or space to hold for the actual answer. So,
and that's big because I see it in people's eyes when they say, how are you? And I think they just want you to say, I'm fine, I'm good, moving on. But if you say, I feel like, sorry, I cuss a lot, by the way. I feel like fucking shit today and today sucks. Then it's like, wah, wah, and then they just want to run. And that's kind of like this thing that Jamie and I speak about a lot is who really wants to know how you are. And I always want to know how she is. And she can tell me whatever she wants to tell me and vice versa. And with Allison and with anyone that I love. But the ones that just want us to be okay, they're afraid of us being broken because that makes them uncomfortable. So it's like that thing of, you know, I had someone when, you know, not to make this about me because it's your interview and we love you. But anyway, bing, bang, boom. I told someone I was going to have a double mastectomy and they said, ew, gross.
Oh my God.
And it was my boyfriend.
Oh God.
He's dead, so we can talk about it. It's fine.
Oh my God.
It's totally fine. That's a fun little tidbit. Yeah, he said, ew, gross. And you're like, okay, so rather me be dead or that kind of stuff where people just kind of show their true colors, not true colors, meaning that they're not bad people. They just would prefer to put on the little alien hat and walk through life without anything going wrong with anyone else. So they can't, because they can't deal with it. Am I?
Yeah, I get. Yeah. There was a friend of mine that was concerned when I decided not to have reconstruction, because at the age I was, I thought, I really don't want to go through that. And I just didn't want to go through it. I wasn't in a relationship. I was older and I didn't think that I would be in a relationship. And it was kind of like, why do I have to? But also the other thing, this is really weird maybe, but I had really heavy breasts. They were like 10 pounds when they removed them. So, yeah, really big breasts. And I kind of enjoy not having breasts. It's strange. And, at Matlock, they devised this really cool little, it's Spankish kind of a camisole, very thin straps. And they put little, falsy cups in it. And they're so comfortable and they give me a nice shape. And that's it. I mean, I feel so good when I go out like that. For a while, I just didn't go out with any prophylactics or at all, or I went out with them. They're hot and heavy and they made me unhappy.
Did you ever have reconstruction or you're still just, okay, yeah. That's awesome.
No, I never had any. And for a while I was thinking, I want to get a tattoo. But then because I was dealing with lymphedema, of course you can't do that.
Which I want to talk to you about that because that's like my biggest fear.
That was a drag. Did you do reconstruction?
Yeah. But I don't have nipples and I don't really care about that.
There's
part.
A guy, that goes around and draws and tattoos nipples.
My friend's mom actually just had it done by a woman in Los Angeles and they look beautiful.
Yeah.
If you ever would.
I don't need them. I'm totally fine. Like you can go out with a tank top without a bra and there's no like pokey guys coming out. Like
no headlights from you.
No
nothing. Headlights.
Just a huge scar. That's sexy. Support for Messy comes from Public Rec.
All right, ladies, listen up. If you're like me, holiday shopping for your man usually means stressing out over trying to find something that he will look sexy in, but also something he'll actually wear. In fact, every present I've ever bought my husband, he's returned. But not now with Public Rec, because my guy doesn't want stiff, uncomfortable pants squeezing his family jewels. And you don't want him looking at like a slob at your holiday party, do you? Well, you're in luck because Public Rec has developed pants that feel as comfortable as sweatpants, but look nice enough that he can wear them anywhere. And I got Cutter their bestseller, the Daymaker pants, and they're great for hanging out with friends or lazy days around the house. And they have so many great style options that are perfect for the golf course, which he likes to go to all the time, or going out to dinner, even when he heads into the office. Whatever pants you choose, he will be blown away by how comfortable they are, and you will love how sharp he looks. You will get A+ for your gift giving.
So for a limited time, they have a special holiday deal where you can get 20% off of your entire order with code MESSY at publicrec.com. That's 20% off when you use promo code MESSY at publicrec.com. Your hunt for the perfect holiday gift is over, guys. For a limited time only, our listeners get 20% off when you use code MESSY at checkout. That's 20% off with the code MESSY at publicrec.com. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Happy gifting.
Support for Messy comes from Thrive Cosmetics. Listen, if you're going for a fresh face look, radiant autumn glam, or you want to spice up your fall routine, do it with Thrive Cosmetics. Because Thrive Cosmetics beauty products are certified 100% vegan, cruelty-free, and they're made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high performance, and trademarked formulas that are uncompromising standards. So it's easy to see why their bestsellers have thousands of 5-star reviews. Personally, I am obsessed with their Liquid Lash Extensions mascara. It's the only mascara I use. It's the only mascara I've been used forever. It lasts all day. It doesn't clump. It doesn't flake. It comes off so easy just with water. Warm water slides right off your lashes. It also has nourishing ingredients to support longer, stronger, and healthier looking lashes over time. And their flake-free tubing formula dramatically lengthens and defines your lashes from root to tip. I'm obsessed. Like I said, it's the only mascara I've used for years. So brighten up your fall look. Check out all of their products with Thrive Cosmetics, luxury and beauty that gives back. So right now, you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/messy. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/messy for 20% off your first order. When you were diagnosed with breast cancer 9 years after your experience with ovarian, what changed for you that you felt, I'm not going to keep this a secret? Was it because of what you experienced, and was it more difficult keeping it a secret? What was the difference for you?
Okay, the difference was Melissa Etheridge.
She was my difference too, man.
Oh man, I saw her. I can't remember what show she was on. She had lost her hair, and she was out there rocking and playing her guitar, and just out and proud and just so gorgeous. And I thought, okay, that's righteous. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, I'm gonna just be out there. And I don't know. She just gave me the courage, and I thought, and also, there's so many of us.
Yeah.
So why do we have to hide? And
that's why we're here.
Yeah.
I've had MS 23 years. For 16 of them, I kept it a secret. And I saw this quote that you had when you were talking about lymphedema, and you said, going out in public wearing a compression garment, especially when people aren't educated, can sometimes be more painful than hiding the disease itself. And I think that all the years of hiding it was incredibly painful, because you start to develop all these feelings of shame and guilt that you have no right to feel around what you're going through. And it's true. You just saying that, and you being able to just say, yes, this is what I'm living with, and this is what I'm going through, and being able to show people that empowers so many people, including me, because I'm still figuring out how to live in public with MS. I'm still figuring out how to accept myself with that and move forward with it. And I'm grateful to people like you, and to hear that you had that moment because of somebody else like Melissa Etheridge. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think we teach each other, don't we?
Yeah.
And I think that I remember being in the waiting room when I had gone in to have a checkup after my mastectomy. And there was a beautiful woman there with her husband and her family, and she'd clearly just gotten the news. And I remember going over to her and saying, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And in some ways, it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me, because I can translate it. And you guys must feel this too.
Yeah.
You translated what you're going through into this podcast to reach out and help other people be able to go out and feel okay and feel fine. And that it's not something you're not who you are. You're not MS, you have MS. That's the big difference.
My mom has had cancer 3 times. and she always said, well, we're BRCA, so we're, BRCA people. But she always said, cancer is a word, not a sentence. And that really hit me. She's, her first cancer was in 1980, then 1995, and then again in 2021, which is when I started having symptoms of MS, but that's neither here nor there. But I was talking about, what I wanted to say is I had a friend who, she's a public figure. And when she was diagnosed a couple of years ago, she kept saying, if anyone's going to beat it, it's going to be me. And I said, you need to take that down, because there's an aunt, a mom, a daughter, someone who's maybe even stronger than you, who might not beat it. So now we need to just be honest. And I think that was like this weird cathartic thing of coming through MS, of relating actually helps people even more. I don't know. I think that's what we're doing here.
I think it does. I mean, I think it does help other people, because I don't know what MS is, and I don't know what symptoms are, and I don't know how it progresses. Well, I met a woman on the set of American Horror Story who had MS, and I thought, really? I don't see anything. What is that?
It's different for every single person. So like Jamie's symptoms are completely different than mine. My symptoms are completely different than other people in our like very close, quiet little group of MSEs. Mine comes with pain from my knees down. I can barely walk sometimes. I throw up a lot. Jamie, you can speak on yours.
Mine has been just a very slow progression, mainly with my gait. And so it was, I was able to hide it for years and working. And then it was years of excuses of why maybe am I limping? Is my, and now, I walk with a limp. I use a cane, but it's gotten to a point where, like you said, I do too feel incredibly grateful for it and understand that MS is what life has given me, I think, for my own growth and evolution as a person. It's changed my perspective in a way that I wouldn't want to have known life without it. I think we're all given things in life, and because mine is so loud and physical, I couldn't ignore it. I think that it's a gift to be able to have a platform with Christina, to be able to speak the way we do, and like you said, make other people feel understood and heard, and realize that exactly like you said, which is like, from my favorite book, Man's Search for Meaning, like, we are a person in prison. We are not prisoners. Like, I am a person that has MS. I'm that lives with MS. I'm not a person like with MS. I'm a person that just is living with it.
Well, I don't agree with her. I love her, but I'm still angry. So I'm 3 years.
But that's the beauty of our conversations.
I say, if I can interject here.
Yes, please. Are you going to help us today, Kathy Bates? I think you might.
I don't know. I'm just going to try to be honest. We're a good example. I've been working with the Lymphatic Education and Research Network.
We want to
talk. So for me, very simply, is that I got the chance to live in the real world and not just in the imaginary world. Mm-hmm. The imaginary world gave me a name like you guys have. And so that I was able to help other people accomplish their goals, especially many that we've achieved over the last decade, which are just amazing. And we call ourselves Limpies. And I tell the people that we come and lobby Congress for help, our pain is our power. Mm-hmm. And we've been given that opportunity to enlighten other people with that power. And it keeps me from thinking I'm a victim of something. And that it is, like you said, Jamie, a kind of gift that you've been able to share with other people. And That's a wonderful thing. And you're doing it in the real world. You're not playing a character.
May I ask a question, Kathy Bates? Because I could be prone to lymphedema, and we're always kind of careful with that, but I've never listened to my doctors and I tune them out. Can you please explain what exactly that is so that our listeners understand the causes, yes, the symptoms, and all those things? Yeah. Sorry, I'm so confused.
I actually got in touch with Bill Rapisi, who's our CEO for Learn, which is what we call it. And so I'm going to read some of these because I wanted him to. He's sort of our Johnny Appleseed. He goes over the world and meets all of these different people in all these cities and to spread the message, but also in some cases to create what we call centers of excellence. Because the problem at the very beginning was people not knowing what it is. And so that it's a progressive disease. Let me just say this about lymphedema. It's progressive and it's incurable. And doctors in 4 years of medical school spend 15 minutes on the lymphatic system.
Wow.
Kathy, I don't understand. They've only told me that I could get it if they did an IV on the same arm that I had my lymph nodes taken out. Are you saying this is something completely different?
No, you should not be doing that. Although I did.
I have, but because it's been 15 years.
It's risky because you can get cellulite. You can get cellulitis. Did they tell you that?
I've had.
Yeah, and that if you don't. Okay, so that's a perfect example. If people don't know they have lymphedema and they get cellulitis and that develops, it can go into sepsis because the doctors say, oh, this is cosmetic. And it's not cosmetic. It can be life-threatening. Wow. And it's progressive. I dated a guy who didn't take care of his arms and they became very hard like wood in the last stages. Okay, going back to your question though, with MS, lymphedema is a condition that can develop in people with MS and is characterized by fluid accumulation in the arms and legs. And this can be caused by changes to the lymphatic system that impact fluid regulation.
Wow.
He talks about brain lymphatic vessels. There's research from the University of Virginia School of Medicine that suggests that the brain's lymphatic vessels play a role in the development and progression of MS. These vessels carry messages from the brain to the immune system that may trigger MS symptoms. Blocking these messages may be a new way to treat MS.
All right, I'm totally bummed, and I'm also going to research all of this.
No, this is very important for people to know about and learn about.
Sweetheart, you know that when I say bummed.
Of course, I know. Of course.
I have a bad sense of humor.
Regional lymph nodes, the brain drains cerebrospinal fluid and interstitial fluid, ISF, to lymph nodes, which may be involved in the pathogenesis of MS. The diameter of the cervical lymph nodes may reflect disease duration and progress in MS. So I'll send that to you because it all kind of gobbledygook in terms of it being in medical language. And you should know too that they've only recently discovered that the lymph system goes up into the head, which is kind of like oh really? I mean, anyway, it's the frustration has been incredible.
What do you do to manage it?
In my case, since I've lost a ton of weight, my arms have gone down a lot. I only had it in my arms, and I still follow some regulations. I still wear my compression sleeves on planes. And I did a movie where we had a lot of physical activity, which really made my arms swell badly. And I went to New York for treatment where they do lymphatic drainage and they with specific lymphatic massage that you have to be trained for. It's not like going to a spa and having those treatments. What do you guys do? Do you have any involvement like that, Jamie, in your legs in terms of swelling or?
No swelling. Mine is spasticity, just sort of tightness. So, it's one of those things that if I'm being really good about stretching and really good about movement, I move better, but there's times where I burn out, to be quite honest. I burn out in feeling like I'm constantly having to take extra care of my body when I have two small children and a life and a career, and you kind of rebel against the fact that you get a little mad that you have to do this. And, I do my best. I give myself grace when I need to, but, when I am working, I tend to be more responsible with it because it's not just about me. I have a responsibility to show up and be in the best shape that I can. And I've, really grateful that when I do work, I have a lot of support. And I think that I was so afraid to come out about MS because I would feel like a burden on a set. But I have to say that people love to help. And it's been a beautiful exchange to see that I'm not a burden and that it is people's pleasure to make accommodations. And in turn, I'm able to do better work now because I feel safe, in my body and in my surroundings. And, it's trial and error. It's There's not a, like Christina said, we're all different with it. So there's not a one size fits all way to take care of yourself and live with MS. But I think that the only thing in common that we all have is, like I said, to give ourselves grace, because it's not easy to live with any chronic illness or anything that, requires constant attention and is incurable,
Well, yeah. I was going to say, when you were talking about compression stuff, my issue is knees down pain, like knees down neuropathy, basically, but like the worst neuropathy you could have, of the tingling, the pain, the numbness.
Oh, that would drive me crazy.
And they're all together. Like, when your leg goes to sleep and then it wakes up. Yeah. That's how I feel 24 hours a day.
Oh God.
But these ones, I don't know if you have, I don't know. I'm sure you have good stuff, but this Fit King. Yeah. Dang.
I have one that looks like an oven mitt, Yeah,
but it's like up to the knees. Oh, it's like having a massage from a partner that none of us have, or except for other people.
That's great.
Yeah, it's my date night with my compression socks.
Messy is supported by Lola V. It's an award-winning hair care line founded by the ever fabulous, ever iconic Jennifer Aniston. With the holiday season in full swing, it is time to embrace the joy of giving, and what's better than the glow of healthy hair? Unwrap the secret to gorgeous hair this holiday season with Lola V. For a limited time, you can enjoy an exclusive 15% off your entire order at lolav.com with code MESSY15 at checkout. Because if you're taking hair care advice, why listen to anyone besides the woman who gave us the most recreated haircut of our generation? Listen, our friend Jen, she got tired of the same old struggles we all face, choosing between hair products that work and ones that are actually good for us. So she set out to create Lola V. It's an award-winning brand. It has naturally derived peptide bond builders known as B-Pro30. It is derived from chia seeds and is clinically proven to prevent, protect, and repair signs of aging and damage on hair. It combats damage right where it starts. It's guarding against dryness, breakage, while delivering high-performance results. And don't get me started on the smell. It smells so good. I personally love the hair oil, their shampoos, conditioners. There's something for everyone. So this holiday season, unlock Jennifer Aniston approved hair at lolav.com. And as our loyal listeners, you'll get an exclusive 15% off your entire order when you use code MESSY15 at checkout. That's 15% off your order at LOLAVIE.com with promo code MESSY15. Please note you can only use one promo code per order and discounts can't be combined. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Your hair will thank you. Support for Messy comes from Whoop. As you all know, we have been on the hunt for ourselves and for you for the absolute best products in the health and wellness space. And we've recently started using Whoop, one of our sponsors for today's episode. So Whoop's calling card is in their recovery and sleep tracking. Each morning when you wake up, you get a recovery score from 0 to 100 that you can think about, as your guide for you to approach your day. And when you get started on Whoop, you set goals for yourself. So whether that's improving your sleep or recovery, training smarter or harder, or just simply feeling better, Whoop learns your body's baselines, learns your body's patterns, and it coaches you with custom recommendations on how to tailor your lifestyle, your habits, your training, and more to unlock your health. I say it time and time again. If somebody could just tell me what to do, I would do it. Well, now we have it with Whoop. And also 87% of their members say that they feel healthier with Whoop. And the longer you wear it, the smarter and more personalized the algorithms and feedback you get. So head to join.whoop.com/messy. Whoop is spelled WHOOP to get started today with a free 1-month trial. That's join.whoop.com/messy to get started with your free 1-month trial.
Hi guys. Guess what?
What?
We have merch. That's what the young people say. They say merch because they don't have time to say merchandise.
And it's a limited time.
Limited. But we got a hat. We've got mugs. We got totes. We've got
hoodies.
An awesome hoodie. Yes.
And you know what else? Tell them what they
get.
A
little secret surprise.
Get to match
secret
us.
Surprise. Yeah. We got tattoos. I mean, not like a real tattoo from like someone, but rub on.
To match us, tattoos. Because we have our...
and so it is.
Mm-hmm.
Or so it is.
And then you could decide if you're digging it on your body, you can get it permanently too and match us.
And if you don't know what "and so it is" means, it actually means amen.
Yes.
And it's a big, powerful thing of saying that this is so.
If you want to rep this pod, if you want to rep what we do here, we love you. We would love you to get a hat. Get a sweatshirt or get a tote. All you have to go to, this is a long website, guys. You can go to our Instagram to see it, but I'm going to say it because I have to. It's messypodcast.give/swagger.com/messy_podcast_merch/shop/home. You got it? I hope so.
I just took 7 MS naps.
It'll be in my bio. We'll have a link to it in the episode description, so you can scroll down and click that, or you can just go to Messy Podcast on Instagram, and all the info will be there.
There you go, guys.
Buy our merch. Well, I think it's more than the message that you were giving, Kathy, that there's no shame in the adjustments and the things that you have to do for yourself, whether it's me bringing out my cane or you wearing your compression garments. Just this is what we have. And if anything now, and Christina has really helped me with this because I fought for a very long time using a cane. I didn't like the attention that it brought to me. I didn't like it, to be quite honest. But now I feel like it's an opportunity for me to educate people, to have conversations, to sort of, break through the awkwardness of is something wrong, is not something wrong. And it's allowed me to feel more comfortable.
I like my cane because I could hit people with it. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. We're coming to a close. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'd like to actually plug Matlock briefly. I mean,
of course.
I love. There's another thing that people deal with, and certainly at my age, which is being invisible as you get older. And I think we live in a culture I don't want to make any monolithic statements here, but specifically, I know in the Asian culture, I have a wonderful woman who has an incredible nail salon here, and she recently went home to Vietnam. Her father is having problems, but the family really circles around him, and he's still the patriarch, and he's still useful in his family, and he's loved and embraced. I've seen that also here, not enough. And I think one of the things that Matlock is presenting is the opportunity for people to see an older woman who is useful. I think that's the thing that when you get older, you lose. It's not just your identity from your profession, but it's feeling useful in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You become invisible. And I love the fact that Matlock is shining the light on that, as well as shining the light on opioids, although that doesn't take a front and center. Like every week, we don't talk about another person who has, a problem on drugs. But that's Maddie's mission. That's why she's doing this, is because her daughter died from opioids and she's frustrated and angry and she wants revenge and justice. They say justice. I think she wants revenge and to bring people to account for it. And because this does happen, they bury the records so that if they're not in discovery, unless the people who are bringing this to court have the manpower to go through these boxes and boxes and boxes of things to try to find these documents. So they're stymied at every step of the way. If you follow Purdue and their journey, it's just horrifying. But mainly, I think it's the ageism and showing a woman who has the smarts and the cleverness, and also she's not tied to a phone. She's not tied to a computer, although her grandson is a real whiz on that. But she still has conversations like we're having now, face to face. Yeah, we're using the technology to have this conversation, which is great. But we're still listening to one another. We're still looking to each other's eyes. And so that's another really important part of Matlock, I think, too. And the writing's wonderful and all of the other things that we said. But I guess the way I would wrap up, and I hope you guys feel this way, is we're in service to something larger than ourselves. And that can come from, I don't know, our stars, our personalities, our courage.
I love what you're saying right now so much.
I think we've been called to service. Mm. Allison, you too. We've been called to service to present our message in a very powerful way. Podcasts are the, dope. And what you're doing is fantastic. And I'm glad that you've allowed me to be part of it. And I'm also, it's not just service, but being grateful. As you just said, Jamie, about people wanting to help you. Well, that's what you're doing. Mm. You're wanting to help people. Mm-hmm. And that brings out the better angels, of our lives. And you're to be commended for that. And thank you so much for letting me be part of this. It's one of the reasons I wanted to come and be on your podcast. I've never done one before. You're the first.
Wow.
So, oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. So
I would think with I've seen you all over the place, Lady Bird.
I know, but I think this is the first face-to-face, conversation about something other than what I do for a living.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, then, okay. So we weren't going to do this because of time, but I think we should.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So there's two things that we do on every podcast. Can you explain mine and then I'll explain yours? Okay.
Yes. Christina has this magical gift.
It might not be magic. You always put that, you preface
but
it.
But then you always
and then
say that and it's always perfect. Then, so let's accept your gift.
Okay, cool.
All she's going to ask of you is just to name 5 of your favorite movies. They don't have to be like the 5 favorite, but the first 5 that come to mind that bring you joy, that you could watch a million times, that have affected you, changed your life, whatever it may be. And she's going to allow them to tell her something about you. So whenever you're ready, just think of 5 movies that you love.
Okay. The first one comes to mind is To Kill a Mockingbird. Mm-hmm. The second one is All About Eve. Mm-hmm. I love that one. And I have to say, and this is a new one, and it's a documentary, and I was feeling a little doubtful about things last week. And, it's exciting to be in a big show, but sometimes you wonder, okay, are they going to like the next episode or the next episode? And so
you can't tell me all this stuff.
I know.
You guys got to tell me that you're just going to tell it to me.
Here's the thing. I found an absolutely new favorite. It's music by John Williams. It's a documentary about John Williams and his career.
The composer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to see it. It is the most inspiring.
What's one that makes you laugh?
One that makes me laugh.
You're ruining it, Jamie.
Okay, Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder. I love Tropic Thunder. That made me laugh really hard. And oh my God. Okay, what's another one? Oh, this is it. It's a Brad Pitt, and it's when he plays the devil.
Okay. All right. You guys talk for 2 seconds. Let me just figure this out.
It's Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black.
You guys talk for literally
okay, perfect.
60 seconds while my brain.
Yes. Kathy,
translates.
Tell everybody what nights Matlock is on, what time, where they can watch it, please.
They can watch it on Thursday nights, and it's at 9 p.m. on CBS, and they can then also watch it on Paramount Plus.
Amazing. And it just got picked up for a second season. And again, we couldn't be more grateful to you. It's always so lovely to have conversations with people that you admire for one reason, but then find so many more reasons why you admire them after you talk to them.
That's so very sweet of
truly,
you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a real pleasure to spend some time with you. I wish we had more. Thank you so much.
Okay, this is going to sound really weird, Kathy.
Okay, she's going to give you her reading now, Madam Christina.
Okay,
this is going to sound really weird, but I think that okay, this is just what's happening. You've had an issue with like total abandon, like not abandonment, abandon, where you could just fucking run through like the rain naked and fucking love really hard and love without consequences and love even though your heart was going to break. And yeah,
you're describing yourself. No,
maybe, probably
deep,
but I feel like that's what I'm getting. Sorry.
No, from me, total abandon. Yeah, I guess.
like, have you ever run naked through Central Park?
No, I haven't done that, but I have. I've walked actually in the rain. I remember.
Okay, then I'm wrong about everything.
No,
Jamie, I'm always wrong.
No, you're not always wrong.
Feeling like,
and I'll tell you why. Is that I had an article recently in the New York Times that was very dark because it was how I was feeling at the time. And that was with abandonment. And it raised havoc. Everybody thought, oh, she's retiring and this is so down and this is so depressing. But actually, it's abandonment when you said at the beginning of this podcast, you were tired of keeping everything inside.
Yeah.
You just said, fuck it. I want to tell everybody.
I'm talking about abandon. You're looking at To Kill a Mockingbird, All About Eve. Fucking fuck that lady on the fucking play. John Williams, music, Tropic Thunder. So funny and so amazing. And all I could see was you like running through like rain and being like naked.
Okay, I get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Saying what she feels, and she's saying that then in giving that interview, you were not.
I just saw Kathy Bates naked in my head.
Wow.
That's all I was trying to say.
Well, fasten your seatbelts.
Here we go.
I kind of need you to go with your lymphedema and go run the fuck up somewhere naked.
Well, I love running in the rain, and rain is one of my favorite sounds.
Then there you go.
And I love wonderful music, and Meet Joe Black has an amazing score, and I love Anthony Hopkins, and I love Brad Pitt, and I love Betty Davis.
Okay, then you need to go running naked. We all have to go running naked. That's what I'm seeing.
Well,
from
I
these,
can't
these
run,
movies.
but I'll hobble behind you.
No, I can't run either.
I'm
gonna like hoppy steppy with you.
I can't wait.
It's a date. I love you.
We got
guys.
it. We're going to be
We love
great.
you. And so we're going to end,
one last
Kathy.
thing.
I pull a card each week from this, a random card from this beautiful deck that I have of inspirational quotes. And usually it pertains to the conversation we had. So we'll see if this one does. And we'll send you off.
Okay.
If you have anything really valuable to contribute to the world, it will come through the expression of your own personality, that single spark of divinity that sets you off and makes you different from every other living creature. How beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
And you have done that in spades, Miss Kathy Bates.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys.
We love you, Kathy Bates.
I love you guys too, and keep on doing this. It's wonderful.
will.
It truly is.
We love you, Kathy. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so it is.
This show is executive produced by Christina Applegate, Jamie-Lynn Sigler, and Allison Bresnick. Our audio engineer is Josh Windisch.
And if you want to show us some love, don't forget to leave the show a rating or review. Hi, it's Jamie. Thanks for listening. I just want to let you know I am a paid spokesperson for Novartis, but this podcast is independent from my collaboration with Novartis.